In 1980, a Las Vegas hospital had to suspend workers for betting on when patients would die. One nurse was even accused of murdering a patient so that she would win. Unsinkable Sam, a cat who served in both the Nazi and UK navies during World War II, survived the sinking of 3 ships. Initially on the German battleship Bismarck, he was one of the few survivors when it sank on May 18, 1941. Rescued by the HMS Cossack and renamed Oscar, he survived another sinking from a German U-boat attack. Transferred to the HMS Ark Royal and renamed Unsinkable Sam, he survived its torpedo sinking on November 14, 1941. Sam retired to Belfast and lived with a seaman until 1955. Floyd and Violet Hartwig, who had been married for 67 years, passed away while holding hands. They first met in elementary school, exchanged over 100 love letters during his World War II service, and tied the knot in 1947. In their final moments, their hospice beds were brought together, allowing them to hold hands. After Floyd's passing, Violet followed him just 5 hours later. This footage shows inflatable vehicles like tanks being used to create a decoy army during World War II. Operation Fortitude was an Allied deception operation during World War II designed to convince Nazi Germany's World War II command that the main Allied invasion of Europe in 1944 would not be at Normandy. The decoys included thousands of fake tanks and airplanes, as well as decoy buildings and other infrastructure. To further deceive the Germans, radio transmissions suggested that an invasion would occur at Calais in mid-July 1944. This is the chilling sound of the World War II Carter air raid siren. While she was 8 months pregnant, Lacey Peterson went missing on Christmas Eve 2002. Her body and that of her unborn son were found months later in the San Francisco Bay. She was strangled, and her husband, Scott Peterson, was convicted of their murders. The case was highly publicized, revealing Scott's affair and cold demeanor, which shocked and horrified the nation. Madeleine McCann, a 3-year-old British girl, vanished from her family's holiday apartment in Portugal on May 3, 2007. Despite extensive searches and global media coverage, she remains missing. Her disappearance led to numerous theories, sightings, and suspects, but no definitive answers. The chilling mystery and suspected abduction continue to haunt and intrigue the world. Andreas Mihavec, an Austrian man, survived 18 days without food or water, a record documented by Guinness World Records. On April 1, 1979, at age 18, he was mistakenly jailed and forgotten by 3 policemen. Trapped in a basement cell, his screams went unheard, and he survived by licking condensed water off the walls, losing 53 pounds within the time period. He was discovered by chance on April 19th, weak and emaciated, needing weeks to recover. On July 13th, 2024, former President of the United States, Donald Trump, was shot and wounded while at a campaign rally near Butler, Pennsylvania. Law enforcement and witnesses stated that the suspected shooter fired from a roof outside the rally venue using an AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle before being killed by the Secret Service counter-assault team. The abandoned floating McDonald's, once a novelty restaurant in Vancouver, now sits decaying and forgotten. Inside, mold-covered interiors, rusted machinery, and eerily silent dining areas tell a haunting story. Vandalism and neglect have transformed it into a morbid relic, with rumors of it being haunted. The eerie atmosphere and dark history make it a chilling reminder of a forgotten past. The LaLaurie Mansion in New Orleans harbors a gruesome history. In the 1830s, owner Madame Delphine LaLaurie tortured and mutilated enslaved people in her attic. After a fire exposed her horrific crimes, she fled, leaving behind a scene of unimaginable horror. Today, the mansion is rumored to be haunted by the tormented spirits of her victims, with eerie sightings and unexplained phenomena adding to its terrifying legacy. The dancing plague of 1518 in Strasbourg saw hundreds of people dancing uncontrollably for days, some collapsing from exhaustion or dying from heart attacks and strokes. This bizarre and morbid event, believed to be caused by mass hysteria or ergot poisoning, remains one of history's most disturbing mysteries. The sight of people dancing to their deaths creates a chilling and unsettling legacy. Skinwalkers from Navajo folklore are shape-shifting witches that can transform into animals. Witnesses report chilling encounters with these entities, describing human-like creatures with animalistic features stalking them at night. Known for their malevolent intentions and terrifying powers, skinwalkers instill fear with their eerie ability to mimic voices and their grotesque, unnatural movements. Facts that could save your life. Episode 12. If your house smells like fish, hopefully it's your musty roommate who didn't take a shower and not an electrical fire. When walking to your car at night, have your keys ready in case someone tries to attack you and to be able to open the car quicker. If you need to sneeze, do not try and hold it in. It could damage your blood vessels and rupture your eardrums. If you're trying to see if a mirror is two-sided, put your nail against the glass. If there's no gap between your nail and the reflection, get out of there immediately. Mehran Karimi Nasseri, an Iranian refugee, was stranded in Charles de Gaulle Airport's Terminal 1 for 18 years due to a stolen passport and essential documents. He lived, studied, and interacted with airport staff throughout this period. Horrifying footage from 2022 showed VTA bus driver Carlos Zarate being hijacked by a man with a 17-inch machete. Zarate managed to keep the suspect calm. The individual was Shira Myrtle Bryant. Bryant had 2 outstanding warrants at the time and was later convicted for kidnapping Zarate with a deadly or dangerous weapon. Marvin Heemeyer had a modified bulldozer that he used to knock down 13 buildings and cause $7 million worth of damage in the town of Granby, Colorado. This incident occurred after Marvin Heemeyer lost his fight with the local zoning commission. The killdozer was fitted with armored plates, a layer of concrete, and bulletproof plastic. Heemeyer offed himself after the dozer became stuck. Nobody else was injured or died. On January 15, 2009, U.S. Airways Flight 1549, captained by Chesley Sully Sullenberger, was successfully landed in the Hudson River after a bird strike caused an engine failure. Miraculously, all 155 people on board survived. The pilots and flight attendants were awarded the Master's Medal of the Guild of Air Pilots and Air Navigators in recognition of their heroic and unique aviation achievement. Separated at birth and reunited at age 39, the Jim twins live freakishly parallel lives. Jim Lewis and Jim Springer married, and divorced individuals named Linda were married to a woman, Betty, shared sons named James Allen, owned dogs named Toy, drove identical cars, worked in security, and frequented the same Florida beach for vacations. In 2013, in Lake City, Florida, Ashley Hammock supported her son Tucker through the loss of his baby brother. After the devastating death of her infant son Ryan, Ashley Hammock decided to install a sandbox at Ryan's gravesite. She hoped to create happy memories for Tucker of his brother instead of just associating the grave with sadness.